Hey there, it's me Red Knight and welcome back to my channel for both Hayday and Hayday Pop videos. Now Hayday Pop is currently in the beta mode and it's only available in specific countries, but I've got it at the moment and I'm going to be showing you 5 puzzles. Each of these puzzles has a specific feature that some people have said are challenging, and I'm going to cover some of those aspects within this video. The first one is a brick wall. This brick wall is placed in the center there and it will stop any of the pieces from falling down into the hedgerow. Now it's actually not as difficult as it seems. Once you've cleared away some of the blocks on one side, you're really trying to get some of those rockets or bombs, the TNT ones, to actually blow up the wall. You can't do it with any of the pieces. It's all about getting those rockets in the right location. So in a moment I will get one of the purples I've got here, bring that down so it's matching up in line, take away the 2 blue pieces, and once I've done the 2 blue pieces I can then fire it across. There we go, that's half the wall destroyed. I've now got the stick of dynamite that has appeared. I bring that down closer, explode that takes away the wall piece, thus allowing me to clear away. Now you'll see I've done one part of the hedgerow, one part is still to be done. Now I've got the popcorn over there which I'm going to use with a bit of dynamite. That clears away a lot of the blocks, making it easy for me to finish. I've only got a few more moves left to go until I can actually complete all of this as well. Remember, these boosters can be very effective indeed. Later in the video I'll show you when I'm actually using the tools down at the bottom as well. But do combine them. The more pieces you combine and place around the board, leave for later, can be very beneficial. Maybe you'll combine the load of pieces and never ever use it. That's okay. It's still an option that you've got to do. So keep that in mind. But that was very easy for exploding the wall using the rockets and the dynamite. Done very quickly indeed. Now the next puzzle itself has a little bit of a challenge that I got asked about, and I thought I'd better cover that one, so let me load this one up for you. Now in the case of this one, the issue was the 2 crates down at the bottom. Now the crates down at the bottom cannot be gotten to, not really, until you actually remove the actual blocks that are stopping all the pieces from falling down. Now you'll see there I've got a nice little combo. Now actually using the combos in the center there are probably one of the better ways of clearing away those center pieces very quickly. So by the time you've actually cleared away the obstacle, which is the crates across the center, hopefully those 2 pieces down there would have moved out of the way. Now once you've opened them up, you'll see you've got the wheat inside, and the wheat's actually tied up, which is the aggravating part because it's still going to take a lot of moves. Now what you need to do in this case is pay attention to the top part of the grid, because hopefully that will allow you to position the pieces in such a way that they will fall down and then allow you to take away the wheat. So you've got to look at that top part. Don't get blinkered in on the bottom part. That is one of the key focuses or tips I would suggest for that kind of puzzle, especially if you have that center section just there. Right, now the next puzzle I'm going to go on to, again, has a little bit of a challenge to it, but ultimately it's not too difficult, not really. Now in the case of this one, somebody said to me about the jams. Okay, I struggled. I kept trying to remove the wheat so I can get the pieces down to get the jams. Now the wheat as such are not to be worried about. They're just an obstacle that's in the way. If you try to remove all of the wheat, you're going to make mistakes because the wheat is not the key. It's paying attention to what's at the top of the board. Please do remember that. There are quite often a lot of obstacles in the game that you don't need to remove to get the pieces, especially with these jam-based puzzles. Now in the case of this one, only 3 jams will come up at one time. It doesn't matter how many other pieces you remove, they're not going to show up on the board. So even if you're trying to wait till they all come down and use the popcorn, it's not going to happen. You're just wasting moves. So once you get used to the puzzles and you see this as an effect, then you'll think, aha, okay, I understand. It's not going to work for me. Now, one of the key aspects with the jams is matching up the colors, but do pay attention to the way that the actual boosters fall. You're especially trying to allow the jams to fall sometimes in line with one booster, and then when you combine another booster with it, let's say in another horizontal direction or vertical direction, it takes away 2 jams as well. If you don't always have that option to get pieces, remember you can use the popcorn with the actual rockets, and that then changes that one color into rocket based options as well, thus clearing away many pieces. So again, a nice easy one. Okay, right, now the next puzzle itself I got told is a challenge. I've played it a few times and I've kind of sussed it out now. However, I will say one thing, it's not always easy, but there are some good little tips you can pay attention to. Now, number one relates to the actual rockets. They can be very useful if you get them in the right position down on the left and the right hand side, especially if they are facing in the right direction, because they allow you not only to go through the crate that's blocking the way, but they also start releasing those crates that are below the chicks as well. And at the end of the day, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to remove all of the crates and get rid of those chicks. So as you can saw, or you just saw there, that rocket allows me to go down there in a very nice position. Now, sometimes the rockets will fall in a bad way, and you think, okay, I'll save them, but it's not always going to help. You've got to try and match up the pieces, then remove them, then bring that rocket down, and hopefully you can get a combination. Now in this case, you'll see I've still got 3 and 3. Okay, I've got one crate left to go. Now in the case of this one, I might have to use my actual tools within the game. Now remember, they are part of the game and they do need to be used. It's your choice if you want to use them. You can save them up until you've got loads, but I'm kind of like very happy about using it. Now, I like the watering can, which I'm going to use in a moment here, because it takes a horizontal and vertical line very nicely indeed. So I can clear away those two on the left, and I can clear away the part of one on the right hand side just like this. There we go. Right, I can then use a hammer to smash that as well, and that takes it away. So remember, you can use those tools when doing the puzzles. At the end of the day, you're trying to maintain your winning streak and not lose, and then use your lives more economically and move up that roadway a little bit better. Right, next puzzle. Now the next puzzle is again a nice one. This one is a left board and a right board. Now you've got to get rid of the blocks, you've also got to get rid of the wheat and remove the chicks in this case. Now if you can, one factor that is really going to help you is a rocket and a actual bomb at the same time. Those pieces will clear away loads of the blocks and the actual wheat very nicely indeed. If you can get them further down on the board as the pieces start to drop, it really does help. Again, try to use the actual arrow pieces. Sometimes you may think, okay, I can just use an arrow and go straight down, but no. Remember, you've got two sides of the board here. So you need to be thinking about doing both the left and the right hand side and not just focusing on the one part there. Now, that's not always the case. Sometimes you may find doing the left and the right is easier, which will then make the other side much more smoother to do. Okay, hopefully I gave you some tips within this video and some suggestions on how to beat certain puzzles or to use some of the techniques I've mentioned in other puzzles, but either way I will see you in my next video. Don't forget to watch some of these videos coming up here and also subscribe to my channel and enjoy Hayday Pop if you have the opportunity. Bye now.